y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making cast iron steak. So we have two different types of steak we're going to be doing, but both in the same way. So very, very simple, very quick actually. It doesn't take but just a few minutes on each side. But I'm going to show you how I get that nice sear, but still keep it juicy and tender on the inside. So I'm going to bring y'all a little bit closer so y'all can see, and we'll get it started. Okay, y'all, so I have a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. If you have some peanut oil, that will work even better for this, but just have a cast iron. Heating up that oil. I want to get it nice and sizzling hot. You can see it starting to smoke, so we're probably getting there. That way when we put the steak down, it creates an instant sizzle and sear. So we're going to start with our New York strip steak first. Now you can see these little containers. This is our personal containers that we seal them in, but we seasoned it up already, and it's been just soaking in that flavor while it's been vacuum sealed. Whatever seasoning you choose to put on it, even if you just want to do a little bit of salt and pepper, season it a little bit more heavily than you think you'll need, because you're going to lose a lot of seasoning in the pan. So just put it in and always put it down and go away from your body so it doesn't splash back on you. So that sizzle and sear is exactly what we want to hear and see, because it's going to create a nice crust on the other side of that. Just let it sit just like this for about 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how done you like for your steak to be. I like mine to be a medium rare to a medium, so about 3 minutes, we'll flip it to the other side. But just put it in and don't touch it. Okay, y'all, so we're going to go ahead and pick it up. And you see that crust that's on it? That's exactly what we want to be seeing. So again, put it down and put it away from your body. Okay, y'all, so we're 2 minutes into this side. We're going to just slide our meat over just a little bit. And I'm going to put some herb butter down here to get it melting. Now, you can use plain butter if you like, but I just have some herb butter that I made that I want to add in to add a little bit extra flavor. And I'm going to toss in a little bit of garlic also and get this melting down. And we're going to spoon this right over top of the steak to add a little bit more flavor. Now, be careful with your garlic. At this medium-high heat, it can burn. So just spoon this across. And it can burn very easily. So if you're worried about it and you just want to skip this step for the garlic, that's perfectly fine. This is just to give it a little bit more richness. And a little bit more flavor. You see, this herb butter has some rosemary in it. You can use rosemary, thyme, really whichever seasonings you like. Just kind of spoon this over the top. Now our last step is we're going to kind of sear these edges just to finish it off. So you're just going to pick it up and give it a little heat to the pan on that fatty side. And do it again. And I'm just going to flip it back to this side for just a minute to cook that garlic that's on that side and baste this butter right back over top. You see how my garlic's starting to burn? So we're going to move that part over. Give that just a few seconds and we're going to pull it off and move on to the next one. Perfect. Now do not cut into your steak immediately. You want to let it rest. Let's bring all those bits and pieces over here. And we're going to do our next steak. So this is one of our bone-in ribeyes. I'm going to put it down, and remember, always move away from your body. Okay, y'all, so to avoid boiling our steaks, I poured out all that excess juice and butter, and I want to pull out all of this thyme and stuff that started to burn. And you can do it after each steak or as often as you need. But you want to make sure you give each steak the individual love that it needs. Now your pan is going to be hot, so be careful. Add in some more oil again. Like I said, it's okay if you need to do this after each steak. You want to make sure you treat each one just as importantly as the first one. And our oil is going to heat up much faster this time because our pan is already hot. So we're going to get our last steak on there. And again, remember, always away from your body. Alright, y'all, so we're going to turn off our heat. Move these over to the side. We're going to let them rest for at least 5 minutes before we cut into them. I'll let y'all see what it all looks like. Alright, y'all, so our steaks have been resting for a few minutes. We're going to slice into one and just let y'all see. Now, I don't like super thick slices, but I don't like really thin slices either. So the first thing I do is I just cut off this fatty piece that's on the edge. And then just turn it and kind of slice across. Now the reason you want to let it rest and wait is so that you keep all of those juices in your steak. Ooh. You can see you've got your nice little pink across the middle. But all of these butters and juices from the steak will stay inside. If you cut it right away, you're going to lose all of that. And just run your knife along the bone. Now, if you want to serve the whole steak on the plate, you can, but these are pretty large steaks and most of us aren't going to eat the whole thing. I want to get all this meat pulled away from the bone so I can just slice it straight through. But you see how your juices aren't just pouring out, they've had time to kind of reabsorb into that meat. And there you have it. how I cook a steak in a cast iron skillet. Hopefully you enjoyed this and you're going to give it a try. Like I said, if you're not really familiar with what seasonings you want to use, I just use a new seasoning or a Cajun seasoning. If it's a really good cut of meat, just a little bit of salt and pepper and some butter, maybe some rosemary or thyme herbs in there, a little bit of garlic. Just kind of play with what you like and go from there. Just remember, your fresh herbs, well, even your dried herbs, at that high smoking point, it can, or that high heat, it can burn really easily. So if that happens, just remove your oil and kind of start over. Better than messing up your entire steak. And just add that butter at the end to help give it some rich nuttiness and just some depth of flavor. I mean, butter makes everything taste better, right? But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank y'all for joining us and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.